Hey everybody, it's Jenny Bellinger, and I've got Shannon Schmidt joining me.
Oh crap. Hi.
That's okay, no worries. Someone needs a phone stand.
I have one in the other room. I just
Oh,
wasn't planning on using my phone.
right.
Okay.
Amazon, people, Amazon, $7, and you can get it in like 20 different colors. So of course I got purple. Let me tell you.
Maybe I'll run and get that really fast.
Oh yeah, go ahead. That's good. So since her phone keeps falling, that's totally cool. What we're going to be talking about today is PowerPoint and using it in order to have a really, first of all, something attractive that people want to look at and see when you're doing an online presentation. Secondly, it helps organize your thoughts, keep you on track when you're doing any online presentation. So whether you're doing some sort of oils class or in Shannon's case, since she's with Pure Romance, one of her women's education classes about relationship enhancement products and things like that. So having a PowerPoint that can help keep people's attention, show off products in a much better way than trying to hold them up to a camera that zooms in, and then when you zoom back, it's all weird and stuff. It's so much easier to just be able to show people pictures, potentially even give them direct links that are easy to get to. You can even put in, if your company has created some really cool videos for you to use, you can put YouTube links directly into PowerPoint. So, I mean, I'm not going to show you everything because, I mean, seriously, PowerPoint can literally take forever to learn all the things, right? Because I'm still learning things that I can do with PowerPoint that I didn't know existed before. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to share my screen, and I'm going to go to screen 2, I think. Yeah. Because then this will allow me to show you guys where, kind of how to access things. So first of all, I do want to give the caveat. I am going to be showing you guys the most recent version of PowerPoint. So I have gone to, it's now called Microsoft 365. It used to be called Office 365, but now they call it Microsoft 365. So I have uploaded the most recent version of PowerPoint because it is amazing. And that's, like I said on the Facebook page, this new version is how I'm creating the most amazingly beautiful PowerPoints that I've ever done in my entire life. And I've been creating PowerPoint since the late 90s. So this is the new PowerPoint when you pull it up. So I want to show you guys, do I have something? Anyway, so when you pull it up, it gives you the option for a blank presentation. I think a lot of people tend to start there instead of picking one of the themes that they have here. I mean, they have so many awesome, beautiful themes. The one I've been using for my most recent webinar series is this dividend one. So I've been, so my most recent one was called Sales is Not a 4-Letter Word. So really quickly, I'm going to open that to show you guys what that looks like. So in this, what I'm able to do then is create a very consistent theme across the entire PowerPoint. So you may also want to check and see if your company has already created a PowerPoint template that you guys can use that has the logo and everything like that for you. But since I'm not associated with a particular company except for my own, I don't have one. Maybe I'll get a graphic designer create one for me. But anyway, so I always include an introductory slide about myself. So that way people know who I am, why they should be listening to me, what's important, right? So in this slide, this is where you guys would tell people how long you've been with your company, why you got started. You can give, like, put a little bullet point that says why you got started, all of that. You can put in maybe your other job, if you have other jobs that you're doing, tell a little bit about your family if you want to, all of those things. Then I always make sure that I share something that causes them to watch until the very end.
Sorry.
That's okay. So I always like to make sure that they know that there's going to be something in it for them if they watch until the very end. So you guys might want to include a little teaser like that for people as well, because that keeps them on until the end to know what that gift is for them. Um, then, as you'll notice, all of my slides moving forward have some sort of image. You always want to give them something to look at, a picture, whether it's your company logo, whether it's a product or a stock photo or something like that. Make sure every page you show them has an image on it, because people are very visually based. They like to have something. So each one of my slides always has a picture on it. And I also keep my text to a minimum, because PowerPoints are not books. PowerPoints are meant to be introductory information. So you'll notice that there's not much information on the PowerPoint. And if you feel like you need more information for your own, in order to be able to do the presentation, then that's where you put it in the notes section down here at the bottom. So that's what this section is down here. So you'll notice, for me, I had a poll during my webinar. So this was my thing to say, click to add poll here, right? And discuss results. Just a little reminder, because this will show up on your presentation screen. And then all the notes for me here is going through, just a reminder for me. So again, keeping things very consistent, always an image, not a lot of text on the thing here, only the things that you want them to focus on, right? So in this case, I was asking people what horrible sales experiences can they think of? Well, let me tell you, it was like 3 times more than the great sales experiences from the previous one, right? And so I explained all of that, and then going through, and sometimes I have an image that if they, that people look at it and they go, what's that there for? And they're like, oh, it's Old English. That's Old English. That's how they used to write. Holy crap. It doesn't even look like English nowadays, right? It gives them something to look at. So, as you're scrolling through, you'll see all of these things. Again, an image with a little bit of something that catches their attention. I did on this particular slide add an animation. So you'll notice here that this shows the animations. So that way I can see what they are, right? So I'll show you guys how to add animations in case you don't know how to do that either. Now, every once in a while, I do include slides that don't have a picture. And that's just because I really wanted to catch their attention on this. And I wanted them to only focus on how to go about it, so it was all about what is the focus on that. Continuing through on, image and the things that I wanted them to focus on. Here you'll notice that there's a ton of notes for me here, right? So that was, I had gone through and figured out exactly what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it. And so I put that in there for me, but my participants couldn't see that. Then this is where I gave them their gift. Okay, this was their gift, that they were going to get an article on how to do relationship selling. So I happened to put something there, and I'll show you guys how to do this kind of stuff. I mean, it's super easy. You're going to be flabbergasted when you find out how easy this is moving forward. So included my contact information, what I wanted them to say in the subject line, what I wanted them to say in the message. So they're reaching out to me, so I know they are interested. And then after that, I said, and I've got some advanced techniques. Would you like some really quick advanced technique on how to be a really, really, really great salesperson? And then I went into that. And then that was it. Looking back, I wish I had then gone ahead and put in like a contact slide or something that had all my contact information again, because I did present it at the very beginning. To have them text Jenny to 64600 or go to easycard.com/Jenny in order to reach me. And then, of course, they did get my email address here. But that's just to give you an idea. So this whole PowerPoint took me maybe an hour to put together because I had already kind of based out the outline beforehand. And then once I got everything set up, all of the making it beautiful part happened really quickly. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that now. So we're going to go back to the beginning here. I'm just going to pick floral flourish. Okay. So go into create. And so you'll notice they've already got a couple of things here set up for us. So all you have to do is go in. Right. And then you can always adjust the size of this just by doing that, and it'll make it a little bit bigger, all that fun stuff. Oh, it doesn't like PowerPoint. There we go. Not that it matters because it didn't change it anyway. But this will go through and create all of that for you. So here, if you wanted like a timeline or something, all of this is changeable. But if you go up here, when you're ready to add a new slide, so if you don't want to necessarily use this one, you just go to new slide and then pick the one you want. Like I said, you always want to have something that's like has like pictures and text. So I usually go between title and content if it's like a really just a big huge picture and a section header. So, but like I said, your next slide should be your introduction to you. Oh, so this didn't continue. Oh, that's all the design they did for that? Oh, never mind. Sorry. See, sometimes it doesn't work. Oops. So we're going to go back and do a different one that actually has a pretty theme. So you can start with blank presentation and then, oh, let me move this out of the way. And then go to design. And here's where all the designs are. Okay, up here you can see all of the things, and what's really neat is any of these that have like all these multicolored things here, those are additional design aspects that they have. So I actually regularly use some of this, like especially the purple ones. Shocker, Jenny uses purple PowerPoint slides all the time. But you'll see that these have different color schemes here. So if I click this, now it gives me all these different variations that we can do here that changes up the look, but it's very similar. So if I like that shiplap hardwood floor look, I can go with that. Or if I want it to be a little bit of a brighter look or, you know, almost like a blackboard style or something, they give you different options here. But if you click this right here, this shows you all of them on one screen. Okay, so there's so many different themes out there that are super easy. So, and since Shannon was the one who wanted to do this, is there a particular one of these themes that you like, Shannon?
Anything green.
You like green?
Yep.
Do you like this one with the various designs?
That one's good.
Okay, cool. So we're going to go with this one. So again, this is going to be the title. So in this case, what you can do, Shannon, is you can put like the hostess's name. Mm-hmm. So, you know, right? So all you're having to do is go in here and change your hostess's name every time. And then it's set to her, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then you can put you. And what's your title?
Associate director. Soon to be director.
Woohoo! Yay. So yeah, and you can go ahead and you could even put that in there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yay! You know, because then that's a talking point for people. right? And you'll notice what's happening over on the right side. Because let me move this little thing out of the way so I can see. I have the design ideas activated. Okay. So if I, started with this, but went, oh my gosh, this one is so pretty, I'm going to do this one instead, right? You definitely could. And look at all the different options they give you. And then every slide after that is going to fit in with the slide that you pick here. But since she picked the green, we're going to go with the green. Okay. So go back up here, click home to get back to, since we already have the design we want. Then you're going to go to new slide. And it's going to give you all the different options. So we want this to be about Shannon. So we're going to, put information about Shannon. Actually, before you introduce yourself, sorry, at the parties, asking who's joining us. So have them introduce themselves first, and then you introduce yourself last. Make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is where you're going to give them ideas of what you want them to say. So name. How do you know Jenny Bellinger? So the hostess. And what else do you like to have them do during their introduction?
Gosh, I don't really ever have them do an introduction.
There you go. So part of the reason I would recommend that you want to do that, Shannon, is because what that does is it's much easier for people to share in a room where they feel like they know people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It creates a slightly safer space. So you do want to keep it short and sweet. So tell us your name. How do you know Jenny, our hostess? And we're going to have, like, this could be where you do the create a fun name game.
Yeah, I do play that with people on Zoom. I have them change it on Zoom.
Okay. So how do you want to put that in here? Like, do you have an image that has all the dirty words that start with various letters of the alphabet?
I used to, and then I don't anymore because I never really needed it anymore.
Okay, because that's what you could put here in the image.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So pick a dirty name, right? Well, I'll just put that there and you can call it whatever you want, right? And then in the image here, you would put the dirty name listing.
Yeah.
Right? So what I'm going to do really quickly, this thing keeps getting in my way. Okay, I'm going to move it over to the other screen because I don't need it.
Oh, is it my face?
No. That I have right here because then it looks like I'm looking at the camera when I'm looking at you, which is good. No, it's all the controls for Zoom that were getting in my way. So I'm going to pull up this really quickly. Let's see. Let's see. No. I'm wondering what that is. Let's find out. I have no idea what I'm about to show you guys. I'm sorry. Because I'm just looking for images. Oh, wait. You know what I need to do? Go back here and click on images and see if people already have. Oh, look. Oh, we don't need Arabic swear words. All kinds of different curse words. I'm looking for like.
You probably need to type in because dirty, when they see dirty, like they think of like bad words.
Right.
Like sexy names or stripper names.
Oh, there we go. Let's see. What's your stripper name, right? So you can totally do this, right? As your image. Right? So I would be Kitty Horn. That's weird. Right? But
Eh,
this could be like, I'm just going to grab this image to
like I
use.
have images that have every letter of the alphabet and like what your dirty name could be. It's just hard to
Good.
find it like off the fly on
Yeah,
Google.
no, exactly. But you know exactly what you'd want to put in there. I'm just going to use this for the sake of
Using a picture.
yes. And then you're by the end of this, you're going to have mostly a PowerPoint that's pretty much ready to go, and all you have to do is um, uh, adjust it to fit more of what you do. So let's see, PowerPoint tutorial. Here we go. Now watch what happens over in design ideas.
Oh.
Right? It gives us options that prettify what we have in here. Okay, so we can make it so that the image is bigger, right? And I like this design. I don't know about you, Shannon, but I like where the picture is over here and the words are over with the green,
I agree, yeah.
right? So then people can, follow this, and you're able to actually make this bigger if you want it easier for people to see. Just like that. Because they need to be able to read it, because some people might be checking in from their phone, So all these different design ideas. I mean, there's also this one here as an option. And again, you can still make this one bigger, but we liked this one. Oh, wait, no, not that one. Where'd it go? This one. And then just making it bigger. Because size matters, right, Shannon? Okay. All the people who are watching this later going, oh my gosh, can't believe this is the one we're making, but Shannon's the one who asked for it. So she's going to get a PowerPoint out of this. So, all right. So having everybody introduce themselves first, right? Because then they feel much more comfortable, and you know who they are, and you're not going, hey, lady in the pink shirt, right? It's just easier, right? And then you can do your introduction.
Stop, bud.
Right? And then you can put in, mail lady by day, relationship enhancement expert by night. Just
like it.
Little things like that begin to get people to understand who you are, what you do. Been with Pure Romance for 1 year. Like, again, you'll adjust these. I'm just typing stuff in because, right? You've promoted 3 times?
Advanced senior associate. Yes.
Right? Oops, wrong parenthesis. There we go. That looks right. So again, it's things that get people getting to know you and who you are, right? And then in here, you would put your picture of you, a fun picture of you from, from a party, from one of your Pure Romance team meetings or something, your picture would go in there. And then it'll give design ideas, but it won't give design ideas until you actually put something in here.
Okay.
The other thing, so online, if you click online pictures, these are pictures that PowerPoint has access to that are just generic pictures, but sometimes you can find logos.
Oh.
And so Pure Romance is already in here. Somebody's already uploaded some stuff here, which is really nice, because now we can just put that in there. And I'm just going to put that in there for now. Okay. Now, they are trying to help you out by making sure you don't get in trouble for using something you're not supposed to. But I know in your Pure Romance agreement, you are allowed to use the logo. So I typically just get rid of this part and click design ideas again to see what options they are putting together for you. So in this case, I really like how it has your company logo
Mm-hmm.
and then information about you. And if you're the one who's talking on Zoom, they can already see your face. So you don't necessarily have to have a picture of you. But if you have a picture of you, put it in there, right?
Yeah,
So that's an option as well. Um, I think of all the design ideas, I like that one the best. What do you think, Shannon?
I like that one. I do.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
like all the
one.
green.
Right. There you go. So having all of this information here is good. And then you can get into, okay, so now that we know each other, you guys know each other, I know you, you know me, let's move on to the stuff. So then you can start getting into, I think in the online party that I attended with you about 4 to 5 weeks ago, you started with like the essential oils,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can just start with a slide that is a bunch of content, right? And you can add more pictures. So you can put essential oils, and then you can put the pictures here, and you can add another picture image if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So, I of course haven't downloaded any of these,
Yeah.
yet, but you guys can see that if it's a picture, if it's a picture from your computer that you already have downloaded, which you guys should be able to go to your company back office, because they generally have somewhere in the back office that has like high quality images for you guys to use. If they don't, just go to your company's online catalog and right click on the image of the product that you want and save it to your computer in a file, and then use that. Otherwise, if you're using just a generic picture for something, you can grab online pictures here that are just kind of generic-y ones. If you want to put in a video for something, so if there's a YouTube video showing how to use one of their essential oils or something, if they've put together a company video, if you're able to download that from the back office, go ahead and do that and put that in here. So you can do that. You can create a chart. I mean, just depending on what you guys are doing, I'm just throwing out there some ideas out. Smart art graphic is prettier images for you to be able to use, or if you're going to put in a table to include maybe you're going to put pricing in for stuff or something, which I would not necessarily recommend. Oh, wait, before we get into this, starting from here, you want to direct them exactly what you want them to do. So get a notebook and a pen, right? So is any of these images look especially attractive to you, Shannon?
Well, is there one that has that pink? Is there a pink? Like
This with flowers
yeah.
right here?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll put that one in, right? Wish list. So this is basically
Well, isn't that a fancy pen?
right. So this is basically you're telling them to get a piece of paper and a pen, right? That's all it is. It's a reminder to get a piece of paper and a pen. It's good for you to remember. It's good for them to remember, easy peasy, right? Paper and pen, and it's a pretty picture. But again, design ideas. So many options, right? But I think, ooh, that one's nice. Do you like this one?
Click on that one. It's hard to see from. Yeah, that one's pretty.
Right? So it's got the pen, it's got the paper, and then if you wanted to, you could add stuff here, right?
Yeah, I'll probably add something like I do a lot of funny stuff. So like pictures or
Right.
stuff that turns everything into a joke.
Yes, pretty much. Grab paper and a pen. right? There we go, right? 2 easy instructions. Because if they can follow these instructions, you know that they're going to follow future instructions, right? So now when you get into the essential oils, you can put in, product images here. If you want to change the layout, so let's say, for example, you want to include a little additional information. So you can put the name of the oil up here. So what's one of the names? Rise and Grind or something?
Yep.
Right?
It's my
Rise and Grind.
fave.
And what's another oil?
Let's
Top
do
seller.
Be Kind Unwind.
Okay, Be Kind Unwind, right? Those are the 2 top ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is where you could put the images in for them, right? From your company thing. So now you're all set. You just have to upload images, right? And it's not going to give any, again, not going to give any design ideas until you actually put images in.
Okay.
So there you go. But yeah, so going through each individual type of thing. So after essential oils, what do you show off generally? Is that when you get into perfumes?
I start with like the Basic Instinct. It's another rollerball, but it's a pheromone cologne.
Smell like you want to get it on, right? AKA our perfume collection, right? And so this is where you can put in.
But then I could put all of them. I could do like the Basic Instinct, the Flirt Rollerball, like the Dirty French.
Yep. Exactly. Right, Basic Instinct. And then since you have 4, is it 4 perfumes?
We only have 2 well, 3, I guess, if you can add the Basic Instinct, but we just have Flirt and then Dirty French, but we have Flirt and a spray and a rollerball. So
okay, gotcha. So you can go through and just basically right click on this, duplicate slide, because what it'll do is it's the same thing on both slides, but then what you can do on this one is put Dirty French and then have rollerball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then as you add the pictures in, it'll happen, right? So there's that. And then for you, Shannon, I would maybe at this point add in a game or some sort of engagement.
Yeah.
Because you've already shown 1, 2, and again, I know you guys have multiple essential oils. So this, again, duplicate the slide, put in the other, other oil names. Isn't there, what's another one? Open Sesame or something?
Open Sesame, yeah.
It's crazy. I don't even work for you guys and I know all your stuff. All right. What's the last? Aren't there 4 essential oils?
There's, let's see, Rise and Grind, Open Sesame, Be Kind Unwind.
Isn't there a sleep one?
There's a Bang Bang.
Oh, that's what it is. There you go. So now you've got, all the essential oils. You've talked about 4 essential oils. You've talked about the Basic Instinct, Flirt, and Dirty French. Okay. Because the rollerball, you can find a picture of Flirt and Dirty French's rollerballs, right?
Yeah.
So you can show them both here. So this would be like the Dirty French perfume bottle. This would be the Flirt perfume bottle. And then the rollerball, if you can find an image that has both of them in there, then you could put the rollerball thing in there. Okay. And then you can animate all of this. So, because again, you want to show them one thing at a time, maybe. So these are you can animate all of these things. So let's go through and it's going to pull up images. So, oh, that shows both. Oh, here we go. That's just the perfume bottle, right?
Where are you at? Yeah,
This
that's
one.
just a perfume bottle.
Perfect. All right. Oh, I just want to make sure it still looks like that and this isn't like an ancient. All right. And then go up here and do. I know what this bottle looks like. All right. Now we just need like their. Oh, that one looks pretty. Which one do you like? This one that's just the bottle or the one that says like ooh la la? Oh, that looks like it's got other stuff on it though.
You can pick just that one then.
This one has a description of the thing.
It does, yeah. Which.
Oh, that's kind of a bad picture though. Look at how pixelated it is. That's not very good. That's tiny.
Yeah, I've got on in one of our flyer sharing groups or whatever, they've got a bunch that are like that are nice and clean and crisp.
Good. So, I would recommend finding some of those. But for now, I'm just going to do this to show you guys what other design ideas come up. And then that way we can also play with the animations as well. Sorry, I decided to get rid of one of my options there. All right, so since I saved this here, this is the flirt. Oh, I forgot to get Basic Instinct.
Watch your head, bud.
Again, that's a beautiful picture. I mean, very clean, crisp. That's what you want, is stuff that is easy for people to see. Right? And no design ideas for this slide. Okay. So what I would do, I personally don't like the things off to the left, so I'm going to center them over the picture like that. And all I did was click in where the words are and then go up here for people who miss me clicking up here. This does left align, center, right align, but we want center aligned for these. So then if we wanted to animate it, you go up here, click animations, and then you'll notice none of these, we're not able to do any of these yet because we haven't selected what we want to animate. So I just select like that. Oop. Oh, it's only showing the picture. Okay. Oh, because I also need to click. Okay, so I'm going to hold Control. And now it should. Oh. All right, that's not working, but okay. So if you wanted that to fly in, there we go.
Oh, is there such a thing as too much animation?
It can be too much if you have too many pictures and stuff on there, but typically if you have too many pictures, it basically, they get too small anyway and it's not as good, right?
No, I mean, as far as like doing animation on every slide as a product.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can play around with it. And then again, that's something you can ask feedback from other people. Yeah. So, and then this one could float in nice and slow, however you want to do it, right? So there's all these different, I'm going to move that off to the side here, all these different options here You can have it split in, fly in, fade in. It can just magically appear. It can look like it got wiped in. It can come in as a shape. Like it can grow and turn. So if we did this one and say, I want to do this instead. So now it flies in like that. Right. You can have it swivel. Bouncing in.
Pretty nifty.
There are so many options. If you want it to be like, hey, you can do the teetering. I mean, there's just so many different. Here it gets really big and then it's going to shrink back down, right? I don't know what this is going to do. That didn't do anything. That was boring. So let's see what spin looks like. Oh, look at that. So lots of different options there. This one, you can have it fly in, that's what I had it do before, which is totally fine. So lots of different options there just to get that started. So does that make sense so far on how to do all of this? So the things across the top here, just basically home gets you back to your original, like the text boxes and your font and everything. So if you want to, retype up here, or if you decide you want this more centered, you can go ahead and center it like that. Because I think I like that. I prefer that look over this one, which is left aligned.
Yeah, I do too.
So it's, again, very easy to see. And so that's some of what you can do for that. So, and then just go through. And now that you've had all this time to do this, then you could put in, again, like I said, some sort of engagement. It doesn't necessarily have to be a game, but this is where you can have them have it be like a question. Right. And then you can put in so you can pick any of these little question mark thingies. I mean, so many options.
There is a lot.
Questions answered here, even the silly ones. Right? So many options. So, I'm just going to pick that one for fun. And again, you don't have to have that. And again, this is where it gets really fun because the design ideas that come up, as soon as you include a picture, usually at least one picture, it starts giving you options, right, for it. I don't understand what's different between these two. They look the same to me. Oh, I guess they zoomed in more on, no? Weird. It's like the same one twice. Interesting.
It is.
So, right. So getting them to get engaged. What questions do you have so far? And you could even add in like a little text box. Let me move this out of the way. Insert. So if you go to insert, you can add your own pictures into something, add a table. You can take a screenshot. So if you were showing people how to do something on your team, take a screenshot of your back office thing, put that in there. You can create a photo album, put in shapes, various icons. Again, the smart art that makes it more fun. A chart. But then text box if we wanted to add another text box. And then you could animate this part, right? Make it pop in afterwards. So they start with questions. So it would start with what questions do you have so far? And then once you click, then this would pop up and say, okay, how many items are on your wish list? And have people say like 1, 4, you know, just like, because again, you're reminding them wish list, put things on your wish list, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, what I used to tell people was the more items you have on your wish list, the more money I can save you. Because it's true. Because if they don't write it down, you know, so, and then, you know, like I said, you could put in here various games and whatever you wanted to do as an option. So, what about you? Questions so far, Shannon, on how to do this, how to use this?
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Oh,
about
no.
PowerPoint?
No.
Okay, cool. Because really it's just, again, thinking about how you want to engage with people, because right now we're still very much doing things online. So
Mm-hmm.
how do we engage with people? How do we keep them participating, you know, with us on this? So you know, show a few things, get them engaged, right? Show a few things, get them engaged, right?
Yeah.
You can even up here, you can include instructions on how to raise your hand on Zoom. Okay, so I would put that as a separate thing so that way they see. So grab a paper and pen, write your stripper name at the top and show me how to raise your hand on Zoom. So now I'm going to teach you guys how to raise your hand on Zoom. What you're going to do is at the bottom of your screen, you're going to click participants, and then you'll see a little button that says raise your hand, and you're going to click raise your hand. And then when they raise their hands, even if you're in a PowerPoint, like Shannon, if you were to do that right now, touch your touch screen, click on participants, and it'll pull up a list. And one of the buttons on there, yep, I got a thing on my screen right here. It says Shannon Schmidt, raise your hand. So that way, if I'm in the middle of talking, I am so ADD when something pops on my screen, I'm like, ooh, what's that? Right? So I know that you have a question. So I can ask the question. You don't feel like you're interrupting. Right? And then all I have to do is, and then for you, Shannon, as the person running the Zoom, is go to their little video screen, and I just click the little button that's like when I put my mouse over your video, it gave me a choice to lower your hand. So now your hand got lowered. So once I answered your question, I lowered your hand for you. So that's it. So I'm going to save this. I do not want it there. I want it in my documents.
Yeah, this was just a good refresher because I used to do PowerPoints all the time, and then I just haven't done them in years. So now I look at it and I feel like it's a foreign language.
Yeah.
But seeing it kind of like reminds me of things. So
yeah, and there are so many different, I'm going to go back into the PowerPoint here and show you guys just to go back through. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So, again, that's the design piece, transitions. So if you want to create a timed PowerPoint, so you don't have to keep click. You don't have to keep clicking every time you want it to move. It takes you about 3 minutes per slide based on what's on the slide. Then you can set a duration for how long you want a slide to go. So advanced slide on the mouse click, but then it'll do a transition from one to the next. So that way there are basically the different, what transitions does is it animates the whole slide to transition to the next slide. If that makes sense.
So like kind of fade out the whole slide into the next one kind of?
Yep.
Oh.
Okay, so it showed what would happen. You can make them push every time. So when you click, that's what's gonna happen on all of them. They're all just gonna push each other up. Like, get out of my way, my turn. Right? So now they're all doing the push transition. Okay, so now they all have it. And then if I go to slideshow. Now, are you seeing the slide or the presenter view?
The slide.
You just see the slide. Okay. So now when I click, it moves up like that.
I like it.
So it just keeps pushing up and through, and you can put in the pictures there and look at this. It's so cool. Right. So, and that's all we have on the thing so far. And notice how many items are in your wish list. So have them ask questions. What questions do you have? And then here's the important part. You have to like pause and give them time to think. Because they don't always necessarily have a question right offhand.
Question on hand.
But you want to give them, a second to think about what questions they have, and then have them either like unmute. You also have to give them time to unmute themselves and whatever, because they may have muted themselves because their dog was barking or a kid was asking them a question or whatever. And they're like, get out of here. You can't be here because we're talking about mommy stuff. Right. So, and then once you have all the questions from people so far, then you can say, okay, how many items are in your wish list? Like, count how many are there and like give me a number. Is it 3? Is it 1? Do you have 0? Like, how many items have you written down so far? What are the things? Right. And then you can keep going on to the next thing.
And I kind of like the how many items do you have on your wish list, especially with the kind of products that we sell. Like, privacy is a big thing.
Yeah.
So you're not asking what's on it. You're just asking how many things you have written down so far.
Right. And the people who at this point, you've shown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like essentially 8 options. Right. Mm-hmm. And if they have 7 out of 8 things written down, you're like, all right, note to self, that's somebody who needs to have a party.
Yeah.
Right. At this point, if they have nothing, you're like, oh, she's here for the toys. All right, let's get into the fun stuff. Right. Because they're like, I don't care about all this stuff. Right. Like, don't care. I came here for the battery operated stuff. You're like, all right. You kind of have an idea of where they are. It doesn't mean they don't want anything. It just means they don't want what you've shown them so far, which is cool. But the nice thing is this is a way for you to begin to think about, note to self. Jenny wrote down 6 of the 8 things. She's probably going to be having a party unless she wants to pay for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The longer the wish list, the more likely you are to get them to have a party, or at least, be presenting the option saying, you have a huge wish list. And you know what? I hate people to pay retail for everything. I would much rather give you as much of it for free as possible if that's okay with you.
Well, yeah, and a lot of times I always do a thing, and I tell ladies, with your wish list, pick your must-haves and get them tonight. Mm-hmm. And then your wants that you have, you can wait and have your party and then get those for free.
Right. Exactly. So, absolutely. And that's certainly something that I used to tell my people as well is, we want to get some stuff tonight to help your friend. Mm-hmm. But, really, I really hate for people to pay retail for everything. Right. I would much rather give as much away of this as I can. So, that's a great way to kind of gauge where people are. It's the psychology of the wish list, right? Why have them? They're super important. And if you can even create a wish list PDF, or a wish list document to send to people in advance, be like, hey, if you send me your send it through Facebook or in the Facebook group. You can put a file in the Facebook group. And so that way all they have to do is print it out if they want to, or you can tell them just bring a piece of paper, but you can have a fun, branded to you wish list.
Yeah.
It's got your name on it. It's got your contact information so they can reach out to you in order to do that. So there you go. Save. So that way it's all set. All right. I'm trying to think if there's, why did I stop share? I wanted to continue showing, make sure I went through everything on here. So slideshow from the beginning, from the current slide, you can hide slides. So if you're going into a party, and so you can create multiple naming slides and put them on here, and then just pick the one that you want to do with the group you're going to be meeting. Right.
Okay.
So you can have a stripper name slide. You can have a dirty name slide. You can have a, however naming games you have, create a different slide for each one, but then you hide them. And the easiest way to do it from here, it shows hide the slide. But for me, I just right click, and then right here, it says hide slide. So I know that's the slide that I'm hiding. So it's now hidden. So if we were to show this PowerPoint, now it doesn't show it. It skips it and goes right into who is Shannon.
That's kind of cool.
Right? But we want that one for now. So all you have to do is click it again and it shows up. So you can record a slideshow and include narrations and everything if you want to. So lots of different options, but anyway, so I think, if you want to go through and check spelling, although it pretty much does most of that while you're typing things in, so you should be pretty good. Trying to see if there's anything else that you guys would need. I think that's it, because everything else is super advanced stuff. At this point, if you guys are just wanting to have PowerPoint in order to do online, some online presentations, this is the easiest stuff to do. Oh, look at this. You could even do a pink version since Pure Romance is all pink.
Oh. Yeah. I would definitely do something more towards the colors of Pure Romance.
Yep.
Green was my favorite color.
Yeah, exactly. So when you get a copy of this, you can play with creating a pink version if you want to.
Okay.
Right. And so that's what it looks like, all pink. Right. And then you could also add in the Pure Romance logo, because obviously that's a thing. And you can add the Pure Romance logo on every single slide. So that way it's totally branded for you in Pure Romance.
Okay.
Are you allowed to go in and add your name to the Pure Romance logo? Because I saw the one that was on there said Pure Romance by Danielle.
Yeah, so we actually have a site that we can go to that's a logo maker that will do stuff like that for you.
Cool.
So
awesome. So I would recommend going and doing that. So that way it's Pure Romance by Shannon Schmidt.
Okay.
Right. So it's on. So you are branded.
I think I have one saved already somewhere on my stuff.
Good. So then I would make sure you put it in the same place on every slide. Or you can even turn that into a game. Count how many Pure Romance by Shannon logos there are in the presentation, so that they have to look somewhere on the screen. And so maybe you're putting it in a different place on the screen. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small. That can be one of the games, the hidden Mickeys of Disney. make them find your logo with your name. That just throwing ideas out there. just different games that you can play to keep people engaged, because the
I'm
online
thinking
party.
of other things that I can hide on the screen too.
Exactly. The hidden penises. Definitely a doable thing for a pure romance rep. The rest of you might want to pick something else.
We get the fun stuff.
Yes, exactly. So, so many different options that you guys can do and use this for. And that's really why I wanted to do this presentation for you guys, is to help you begin to see all the options that you have in creating, these PowerPoints and how they're going to help support you. So, what you looking at?
Does my shirt look weird?
No.
Or is it just on my screen?
I think it's just on your screen. It looks like black and white plaid on mine.
I know, but on mine it like doesn't pick it up right or something, so it's all squiggly.
Oh, weird. No, it looks fine to me.
Huh.
Yeah. So, questions about PowerPoint or how to use it, or?
Awesome. No, I don't think so.
Well, since you were the one who asked for this, I'm going to send you that PowerPoint to use as a starter.
Woohoo!
Whoop, whoop. So that way, you already have part of your work done for you, because we did it here on the thing. Anything else? Well, Gmail thinks as I do this.
I don't think so. I'll probably have something like once I start fiddling around with it, but
right. That's okay.
That's how it always works.
Right. And keep in mind, I mean, the reason that at the very beginning I gave the caveat of I have downloaded the most recent version of PowerPoint was because some of you might go into your PowerPoint and you're not going to see a design ideas thing. Right? Because if you don't have the most recent version, it's not going to, you're going to be looking around trying to find the design ideas icon, and it's not going to be anywhere on your screen. So you do want to make sure that you upload the most recent version. And if you can't figure out how to do it, if you know someone who can help you, great. If you don't know someone who can help you figure out what the most recent version of PowerPoint is and how to download it and access it, I highly recommend you guys reach out to Marcel Brown. He's my boyfriend. He's a tech guy. He's really good at answering people's questions and helping them get their tech stuff figured out. So Marcel, it's Marcel at marcelbrown.com, MARCEL at MARCEL Brown.com. So really easy to remember. So, well, if that's everything, I feel like that's everything. What about you, Shannon?
I think it's good.
Awesome. Okay. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording now.